Welcome to the Backstage Studios Theater. Please take a moment to silence cell phones and locate the exit doors. As a reminder, this video is not meant for children under the age of 13. And if you want to see more content from here, then follow us on Instagram and Twitter, link in the description. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Vinnie Mann's History with Theater.
Come with me to see something strange unfold. Hear the weirdest tale that was ever told.
What's up, folks?
This perfection.
We are back again, and today I'm going to be talking about another one of my passions. What is it, you may ask? Well, let me explain. It happened back in 6th grade when I was just starting middle school and all my nerves were kicking in. I wasn't sure what activities or clubs I wanted to do until my mom suggested this thing called stage crew. She explained to me that it was where students can help build sets for middle school plays, and it had something related to theater. It didn't start until January, but I wanted to give it a shot. When the first day came, I wasn't sure what it was going to be like. The teacher in charge gave me my first job, which was to paint a wall. After I attended more and more meetings after school once a week, I began to realize this was something I wanted to continue doing in the future. When the day of the show arrived, which was James and the Giant Peach, I was amazed at how wonderful the sets and props were. Seeing what the other students created was so fun to look at. After the play was over, I realized this was one of my hobbies. After my 7th grade show, Bye Bye Birdie, my mother told me that a theater called Two River Theater was holding a summer intensive program. It was where students could learn anything from acting to singing to behind the scenes. When the day finally arrived, I met all the staff members of the program, and they showed me the theater and the positions that were available. I was assigned to work the curtain, which was very big for me because with James and the Giant Peach and Bye Bye Birdie, I wasn't in the crew during the show, I just helped creating with the sets. Working the curtain was a great experience, and as my family were watching the show, I could tell that they were proud of me, especially my mother. I returned there in the summer of 2019 and controlled some of the lights. It was a bit scary, but I soon learned that the more shows you do, the more confident you'll be. In 2020, before COVID canceled everything, I signed up for the summer intensives again in February, but in the end, it was canceled. Then all of a sudden, I heard that the announcement that the summer intensives would be back, but they would be virtually. The show was combined with the actors and the crew as they did something and were uploaded to YouTube, which a few of them are linked in the description. Back at school, my last middle school show in 8th grade was Shrek. I didn't get a chance to help change the sets because they already had enough help. While I didn't get involved as much as I wanted to, I had a good experience with theater in middle school. But little did I know that theater in high school and beyond would be a big game changer for me. I signed up to control the curtain in my freshman year of high school, which started in March. However, only 3 days after it happened, COVID ended up canceling it. My last show for a while was the summer intensives at Two River Theater, as mentioned previously. I was hoping that there would be another show for me to do. But it wasn't until February of my junior year of high school I heard the announcement of a stage crew meeting after school. As soon as I heard that, I knew this was my chance to volunteer in a show again. The job I wanted to do was the lights because I wanted more experience with it. But somebody was already assigned to that job, but the director said I could help the lighting person, Ellis, by running down the cues of when the lights should be turned on and off. After several rehearsals, opening night finally arrived. To say that I was happy would be an understatement. After that amazing experience, I decided I want to get a career relating to theater. During the spring, my mother and I looked online for shows during the summer that were looking for volunteers. We came across a company called Main Street Theater, and they were doing Annie. I met with the stage manager Tommy and told him that I was interested in lights or backstage. He assigned me to help backstage, and he promised me that I could work the lights for another show. Working backstage was fun and made me decide if I wanted to work either backstage or the lights. Speaking of the lights, before one of the rehearsals, I met the man who worked the lights. His name was Kevin. I exchanged my phone number with him, and he said he'll let me know if he needed me to help out with the next show at Main Street. In my senior year of high school, I found out that they were doing 2 shows each year, one in the fall that's a play, and one in the spring that's a musical. I helped out with the sound this time instead of the lights because I wanted to see how it works. The play was called Fools. Now, Fools was very different compared to Chicago. You see, Chicago had songs and Fools had no songs. It was just one big story. But everyone was still talented, and I enjoyed working on it. Shortly after Fools, Kevin texted me saying, "Hi Vinny, are you still interested in working the lights for Main Street Theater's next production?" Being honored, I accepted Kevin's offer. The light board was different compared to the high school one, but Kevin's wife, Carolyn, showed me how it worked. She guided me through the songs and different cues for the show Babes in Toyland. My spring musical of my senior year was Something Rotten. I reprised my position in the booth with Ellis, and it was great to be doing it again. It was my last high school show, and it went out with a bang. During that time, I was deciding on what college I should go to pursue my dreams as a theater technician. My family visited Ramapo, Montclair, Kane, and Ramapo. All of them had great theater programs, and everyone was so really nice. But I ended up choosing Ramapo because the theater was absolutely gorgeous, and I saw their production in Duchess of Malfi, and I knew that would be the right school for me. After high school graduation, my friend's younger sister reached out to me asking if I wanted to volunteer in a show called The Prom at a community theater called Spotlight Players. A few days later, I met up with the director, Barry Lynn. I told her about I was interested in backstage or lighting. When she asked me if I had any experience, I told her all about my previous shows. She introduced me to Carly, the stage manager for the show, and after a few days of practice, she asked me to work the projector because the person who was going to work it on it had to fill in the role for Sheldon after the previous person dropped out. I agreed to work the projector and was shocked by the last-minute decision. I was a little disappointed that I wouldn't be helping backstage, but I knew Carly and Barry Lynn were relying on me. At first, I was not sure what I was doing, but I soon found out how it worked, and with the help of Carly, I controlled it efficiently. On the days we had dress rehearsals, I talked to the cast and crew members, and I realized I had made more friendships in theater than in the past. The Prom was the best show I have ever worked on, and I continuously looked back on it. Carly thanked me for being willing to switch from backstage to the projector. This experience, and meeting people that were talented as well as friendly, made my love for theater increase. Now, since I'm studying theater design in college, you are probably wondering what my theater experience at college was like. Well, at the time that I'm making this video, I finished my freshman year, so here's what it was like. So in my first semester, I didn't take any theater classes, but classes I took were gen eds. However, I was interested in helping out with Ramapo's production of Ride the Cyclone, but I decided to focus on my other classes. In my second semester, I took 2 theater classes, Introduction to Acting and Theater Practicum. But the latter was my favorite class, but I wasn't so much of a big fan of acting, but that's a topic for another video. So you would think with the second semester I would do a show at Ramapo, right? Well, yes, but not until much later. The first show that Ramapo did in the spring semester was Fucking A. Yeah, I know it's a strange title. I wanted to be a part of the crew, but I had to go home for my part-time job. However, they were doing another show called The Wolves, and believe it or not, I was officially a part of the crew. I was assigned to work the light board. It was very nerve-wracking at first, but I was working with a light designer named Jack who was an alumni at Ramapo. I had lots of support from the crew, and I felt more confident in myself, thinking that I can handle it. Once the day finally arrived, I knew what to expect, and it was a great show. If I were to say how theater changed my life, It made me decide what I wanted to do in the future. Since it stuck with me, he for so long and found more or more things with it. It's the main reason why it became another one of my passions. I have lots of fond memories of working with several people and different and directors. After working on the prom, I try to make the most friendships as I possibly could with Peter. And after working on the wolves, it made me realize that there's no reason to worry when you have a lot of people supporting you. Ever since 6th grade, my life was changed in the best way possible.